Hello, Libra. Welcome to your full moon and Taurus reading / end of October reading. Because of the good old little energy crisis that we had earlier, had to switch things up a bit, and I'm using my funny deck. You know, my deck that brings a little giggle with my wiggle, things of the sort. You guys are air signs, and I believe that all intuitive intellectuals will enjoy it. Hopefully. But anyway, we're going to jump right into you guys' reading. So Spirit, please give us clear and direct guidance for my Libras for the end of October going into November. Please, Spirit, is there anything that they need to know, anything they need to be aware of? Please, Spirit. Clear and direct guidance. This feels like this is going to be nice. This is going to be fun. We're going to have a fun time together, you and I. Gonna do the daggone thing. Swing on your scales. I don't know where that came from. Felt right. I went with it. All right. So we got your central energy. We have your challenge. Your past influence. What is before you. What is above you, Libra. And what is below you. You know, what's not or whatever. So, present energy. This is just these cards give me so much life. I just need you to understand that. Your present energy is student loans. Somebody lost a breath right there. It says budgeting secondhand clothing and not splitting the bill at dinner keeps debt at bay and annoys your friends. Will your frugality be a lesson in patience and restraint or in FOMO? For those of you who learned that from my little sister, it's fear of missing out. Okay. And regret for missed activities. Interesting. The totem for this card is an art history degree. Soul crushing, long term, and expensive are your keywords. So funny. So the thing that I'm sensing with Libra right about now, I sense a great deal of adulting that's going on. Adulting, like an energy of adulting, like being called to, and I don't want to say like a higher state of being, because I feel like this is like really like earthy kind of level. But it's almost like, I guess the best way I could put it is like, I don't know, if you're like crashing on your friend's couch like for the last 7 years, and now your friend's getting married and they're finally like, dude, like you need to get your own place on some stuff. So it's kind of something like that. So it's, or even graduating from school. Sally Mae will literally call you the day after graduation. I'm speaking from experience. So, oh no, they're called Navient now. Excuse me. Changing your name. Zebra doesn't change its stripes, Navient. It's me having a moment. But anyway, but the thing that I'm seeing it as is like being thrust into a position to where there's a necessity to be more mature and self-responsible before your time. So this could even be having a kid. You know what I'm saying? It could be unexpectedly finding out that you're having a kid. Is anything within the sense where it's a long-term commitment. It's something that's going to be in your life for a while. You know what I'm saying? But it's the question of, can I handle this? Or do I want to handle this? And I feel like it's creating like a sense of panic. You know what I mean? Because it's a responsibility nonetheless. But what I feel on the other side of all of this is it's something that's contributing to your growth. It's almost like spirit making you feel very uncomfortable, like a wool sweater. You know what I'm saying? So the only two options that you really have is like either you're going to stay really itchy and annoyed in the sweater or you're going to take the sweater off. But that's the theme or like the energetic essence in a sense of this framework that I'm kind of sensing. So whatever that commitment may be, I just see you guys standing on like the cusp of a new chapter opening up and fear and anxiety setting in because the issue's getting real, right? Now, this is, if I can pick up the card with my nails. There we go. This is challenged by the ghoster. I know, Libra, I know about y'all. You gotta tell me nothing. You move on easily and without hesitation, which is admirable. How do your actions haunt those that you've left feeling invisible? Let yourself be heard, even if what you say is disagreeable. Now, this is so interesting to me, but I mean, it is, but not really. I mean, it's interesting to me because it's so dead on. Because every single Libra that I know is like a professional ghoster. It could be something, they're not even mad at you. It's just kind of like, I don't want to, I don't want to do this business with them anymore. I'm just going to block them. It's like, you guys have been in business for 5 years. They'll get the message. Once they text me a couple of times and they see that I don't answer back, like, they'll get it. Whatever. And it's like, whoa, how do you do that? But see, the thing that I'm seeing is here, my beautiful Libra, it's a little bit of a fear of commitment. Because the funny thing about the ghoster, doesn't the ghoster seem all mysterious and artsy? You know what I'm saying? He has like that Edward from Twilight vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just so deep. There's a whole facet of his being that we don't know about and it intrigues us. How are they able to do that? How do they make me feel invisible? And them making me feel invisible makes me just want them more. How is that possible? Well, the cool thing about that is it's more or less like an illusion that Libra gets to live behind, right? And it's mostly because of a fear to kind of put your feet down. So this is like you guys' indecision in action. It's the fact of like, I don't want to put roots down too much because if I realize for any reason that this isn't for me or this is a threat to me or this could hinder me in any way, shape, form, or fashion, I need to be flexible enough to be able to, scale on out of here. I don't think you can really, I don't think that's a good word for that. It's not a good, anyway. But yeah, scale on out of here, It's not being able to do that. So it's not wanting to be weighed down. So it's almost like, I don't think oscillation is the best word. Because it's not a sense of you guys swinging back and forth. I'm not getting that vibe. It's just, okay, if you think about the Libra scales, it's the fact that if they were rooted in any kind of way, then whenever they're weighing something out, it would be tipped over to one side. So I feel like this is you guys' way of maintaining this balance, right? But the downside of this is, which is sounding kind of similar to what I was saying with Virgo, is because it becomes a self-imposed limitation. It's your fortress. And I talked about like a dream that I had. You can go back and watch it, whatever. But the fortress can inadvertently become your prison. So the ghosting that you guys do isn't because you're assholes. It's because you're very self-protective. So when a person gets too close, you're like, wait a minute. They're becoming a threat. They're going to know what I Google at 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Or I might get emotionally attached and this is going to put me, So it's this fear. So whenever you feel that there's the chance of putting roots down, you freak out and you run, right? But the thing that I'm seeing is now, this is almost like having to face your shadow and face the truth behind, which is why I'm saying all of this, is with this full moon energy, this is being manifested to you. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the first person that's saying it. I'm pretty sure that you've, gotten manifestations of this throughout your experience this month. But the key is here is facing that shadow and facing the truth behind this defense mechanism that you're using. Because the ghosting is a defense mechanism. It's not because you're super mysterious and cool and so deep and people are just so whatever. You have no, value in my life and I just toss you away. No, because one thing I know about Libras, y'all's emotions run deep. Y'all feel heavily about stuff, That's where me and my brother differ, It's like, I know people have always looked at us, because, I'm a girl, clearly. Well, not clearly. Anyway, and him being a dude, it's throughout our lives, literally, since childhood, him and I differ so greatly in our range of emotion. But granted, he's a Scorpio cusp, so that has something to do with it. But he's always felt things so deeply, but it's like, with him and I being so close, I think I'm the only person who has ever learned of his inner world. So I see how people perceive him and what he projects and what everyone knows, and the fact that the perception, and even like with my ex as Libra and stuff, it's just this perception of thinking there's a shallowness to them. And there's not. It's like they're not all heady people, you know what I'm saying? They are rational about their emotions. It's like sorting them out and making neat little boxes and things, but it's just there's a well of emotion that exists underneath Librans. And it's a level of childlike innocence that they possess, and a little bit of naivete, you know? And I think their intellectual prowess is aware of this. They're aware that this exists within them. So it's almost like they're protecting and nurturing this this purity that exists within them and wanting it to remain untainted. So them protecting that, you know, sweetness that exists inside, that well of emotion, is coming off as like, you know, this douchebag, pretty much. But I think it's time for you guys to face that. To face that the whole reason why you're ghosting or non-committal or just kind of like, yeah, no, you know, let's just see. I don't really know if I want to do brunch. I got to see how my schedule is. So the reason why you guys aren't really putting feet down is because of a fear. So I feel like that's what the challenge you guys are going to be facing, because I feel like with this student loan card, hashtag Sally Mae, hashtag Navient, hashtag 22-year loans, hashtag grad school, hashtag I'm feeling really sad about my life right now. Okay, back to the reading. Anyway, trigger. But what the student loan card is representing is some situation that seemingly happened in your life, but it didn't seemingly happen. It was totally divinely orchestrated. Just throwing that in there. But this situation that you've happened upon, so whether it's, you know, your partner finding out they're pregnant, you finding out that you're pregnant, you know, guy or girl, or, you know, a parent being sick and having to move in with you, like, it's something that is forcing you to step in full-on adulting mode. And it's like, what are you going to do, Libra? Are you going to run away like you always do? Can you run away like you always do? Chances are you're probably so backed into a corner that you probably can't. But this is almost like that, what is it? Like, is it like a nutcracker? It's one of those situations where it's like it's pressurized, like diamonds under pressure or something like that. Pressure makes diamonds, whatever. So it's one of those situations. So on the other end, you're going to come out of this a better version of yourself. And I feel like Spirit kind of had to orchestrate this, because had this not been divine, I don't think you would have voluntarily ended up in such a situation, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway, in your past influence, we have the Off the Grid card. And it says, you see beauty where others do not. In nature and solitude, escape can bring peace at the cost of modern plumbing. Will you consider using Do Not Disturb mode before you move to a monastery in Tibet? That's so funny. So it's more or less, in the recent past, you guys are coming out of hermit mode. Yeah, so I hope you guys did not end up going to a monastery in Tibet, but I kind of feel like, I mean, mine is kind of indefinite, but taking like a social media detox, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of having so much noise and so many different people that are constantly speaking in different opinions and constantly being swayed, and that, like, with you guys having trouble with weighing things out and feeling a little indecisive at times, having a myriad of different voices that are, like, speaking to you constantly and hearing them from so many different directions, that can start to become, maddening. You know what I mean? So I feel like in the recent past that you guys made the decision to kind of take this step back to kind of get clear, to detox the opinions of others, you know what I mean? So that you can really get a good look at this particular situation, which has brought you to this crossroads. And these two cards that you have above and below you are the same cards that Virgo had. What's below you, your little hidden influential factor, is the social justice warrior. And it says, you protect others from the injustices your parents sheltered you from. Is your effort to police ignorance in service of those on the front line, or fuel for the delusion that you are a good person? Dog. Hashtag trigger warning. And the qualities are innocent, empathetic, privileged, judgmental. That is so funny. So the thing I'm seeing with this, y'all, is more or less like, it's the two minds that I feel like you guys kind of, well, not kind of, it's the two minds that you guys have always used as a solution to problems. This is pretty much like that little, like how I told you, like that inner part of yourself that you guys are like protecting and nurturing, the little, you know, sheltered kid that doesn't know much about the big bad world and things. It's like, this is what's underneath. This is what's fueling all of this, right? So I kind of feel like with Libras, you guys are always going to be like a child at heart. So this is that person I was talking about that you guys are protecting. Now, then when we go into how I say, come here, you little sucker, how Libra is emotional, but they categorize and make little micro boxes of their emotions and spit it through the computer type of deal. That's where we have your programmer, which says, you decode society into perfect, logical building blocks. You create innovative but frequently meaningless systems. Will you remember that laughter and surprise arise from what is accidental and chaotic, right? So the key is here is integrating these two facets of yourself, right? So it's taking this very logical, you know, pragmatic side. Oh man, this is the makings of my favorite word and how I consider myself. I consider myself a pragmatic idealist. You know, I believe everything is possible within reason. You know what I mean? If we can create an end goal and tangible action steps towards said end goal, then of course it's possible. Dagnabbit, son of a gun. And that's what I'm seeing here. So it's like the integration of these two extremes to birth the new you, that of which would be a pragmatic idealist. It's seeing that this quality of being able to systematize, rationalize, I feel like I was quoting my poem there just now, to systematize and, maybe that's a sign for you, Libra. You go listen to my poem about love. You can't systematize and rationalize love, so we're not doing that. But utilizing the skill that you have for systematizing things, methodology, understanding how things are interconnected, and more or less like this builder type of energy, right? Like emperor energy in so many words. So it's seeing where this is very relevant and very needed, right? But using it within reason. So your balance is staying in between these two extremes. You don't want to be too much of the, you know, naive, like, you know, everybody's equal and everything is fair and we just need to make everything fair for everyone because it's like love. No, that's not about to happen. No. Hello. You know what I'm saying? So, because these are things that have to be aspired to. It's a lot of evolution and work, inner work that has to be done for one to get to the place of, you know, having gray hair but yet knowing how to be like a child. You know what I'm saying? It's like possessing that high priestess, hermit level of wisdom, but manifesting it like the sun card. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the challenge is here. Like, this is pretty much like your breaking point to break you out of the direct deviation. So I kind of feel like for some people, you're showing up more as one or the other. So it's like being, you know, unrealistic and slightly irresponsible, not really taking care of your business, And then on the other side, it's a person who takes care of their business a little too much. And I'm going to out you. This is my brother who was like, I don't really think that it's, practical to, go, what was it they was doing? To go four-wheeling. I don't really think that's a practical idea. You're on vacation. Are you serious? In the desert. Why would that not be a good idea? I'm sorry. Anyway, brother. So it's like people who are showing up both of these ways, like too much of one or the other. But it's like both of these energies are very relevant. It's just, having them within reason, within balance. And I feel like the situation that you guys are in where you're being kind of pushed to your limits and out of your comfort zone, this is what is going to come out of the other end through facing your little, ghoster shadow, the why behind your ghosting. Now going forward, we have the Barista. It says authenticity and resistance to sell out is felt by patrons of your latte art. Is fear of losing your tattooed identity to the establishment preventing your chance to caffeinate the world? Authentic, hipster, pierced, well-tipped. See what I'm saying? It's the authentic self that's going to come out of the other side of this. So I look at that like the magician energy. Because the magician energy is one who has mastered the physical realm, right? They've mastered like the physical manifestations of things and the energetic realm and having understanding of the intricacies that exist within both, right? And being able to meld them together to bend reality, so to speak. To manipulate elements to manifest things. You know what I'm saying? To bring the is not into the is. You know what I mean? So it's creation in whatever sense that is. And to me, and that's kind of like what I touched on earlier today in the community tab. It's like the true authentic manifestation of creativity or creative expression is embodying your authentic self and embracing that, allowing that to fill up your being, to bleed out through the seams and into this realm so that we can experience the beauty and the uniqueness of your authentic self expressed through your personality. You know what I mean? So what exists underneath all of this, these defenses and the ghosting and so on and so forth, is almost like the world is missing out on the beauty of who you are. So it's time to do this work so that I can meet this super cool barista hipster person that you got living inside of you. Might not necessarily be a barista or a hipster. Y'all don't go quitting your jobs to go work at Starbucks. Unless you're going to give me free coffee, then we can talk. We can work something out with that, okay? Or if you already work at Starbucks, I'm coming to get free coffee. Holla at your girl. So, your oracle cards. First, surrender your belief in scarcity. The universe is asking you, student loans got you like that. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. And this way you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. So this is talk, and this butterfly just caught my eye. Transformation. You're walking through the gateway. The path is clear to follow through, which is making me think of The Fray. Which song is that? Dang, I can't remember what song that is. The path is clear to, whatever. But anywho, so what this is a lack mentality. So a lot of times, I see this show up when, if you grew up not having a lot, and you may have a lot now, but it's the fear of ever being back in that place. So it's a defense that's kind of put up where you're trying to prevent your biggest fear from happening. But the crazy thing about how life works is that you trying to prevent it will inadvertently create it. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm also seeing this in the sense of how we were talking about this balance. It's having that balance in a financial sense as well. So whether it's that you're hoarding money, So you just working and just stacking up stuff and living like you only make $2 a month. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're someone who lives beyond your means, where you're constantly overspending. It's like there's a void that exists there, which exists behind this whole ghosting thing that you guys are going to face. But it's just be kind of cognizant of that lack mentality. And the next card that you have is surrender to divine timing. Because the situation that you're in that is extremely uncomfortable right now is divine timing. You're welcome. Yeah, divine timing. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. Because y'all wasn't ready for this. Just saying. If a goal isn't manifested fast enough, according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. Yeah, man. Sometimes this can happen when, like, say if you're working in your career and you haven't reached your height of success just yet, and it's this frustrating thing of like, why am I not where it is that I'm trying to go? But there needs to be like a level of hanged man energy where you allow yourself to relinquish control, to surrender to the moment, and to allow, because a lot of times your resistance is what is preventing what you want or what you're desiring from coming into your life. So it's like you're keeping it from yourself. That's kind of like the thing I was talking about, like trying to prevent your biggest fear. You know what I'm saying? And you inadvertently end up working against spirit, right? Going against the current. We're not salmon. I think salmon are the ones that go. Anyway, next oracle card. Answer the call. Hello. Just kidding. What is your soul calling? Oh, okay. What is your soul calling you to do is what it said before it flipped out of my hand. What is your soul calling you to do? Next card is play. Have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. That's for my little programmer people here. You know what I'm saying? It's like similar to what I was saying with Virgo as well. It's like it's sucking the life out of life because it's so many self-imposed restrictions and this need to perform and be, or if you're putting your head down and working super, super hard to try to get somewhere. And I know the thing that I, like, well, not experienced, but it's like an epiphany that I had one day. And I was thinking about, because I've been a workaholic like my whole life. I've been working since I was 15, never not worked. I like working. But I thought to myself one day, because I used to like isolate myself and like get into these binges of just like work, building websites and all kinds of stuff. And I thought to myself one day, I said, if I died tomorrow, you know what I mean? It's like, what would my life have been? And that scared me because it would have been me locked in my room, me locked in an office, ignoring people's phone calls, ignoring people's texts because there were a myriad of different projects I just had to get out. I just had to complete. I just had to finish. But I wasn't living. I was working, but I wasn't living. And the thought of if my life ended tomorrow, the only thing that everyone would have to look back on is like, yeah, you know, Princess, she was nice. I talked to her somewhere around 3 years ago. She kind of hung up on me pretty quick. She was saying she was in the middle of some project or something of the sort, but she was a hard worker, you know? Yeah, no. So that's when I realized, and even with my creativity, trying to force it, it's like all of that comes from joy, being out in the world and people watching, having conversations with different people from different walks of life, engaging with people. It's like all of these things, it's almost like, I don't know, the color palette of creation in a sense is experiencing it in its fullness without any expectations, without any, you know, boundaries of how our engagement is going to go. It's just me showing up as myself, you showing up as yourself, and us being able to have this organic experience between us. Because I'm me, you're you, and we're here. So what's up? You know what I'm saying? Something as simple as that. So with those of you guys who have become a little too pragmatic, it's time to mix in some of that idealism with a margarita. Next card you have is Align Your Life. That's that balance, man. What is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? A little fragmented self. What is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? Look around your life. Take a little inventory, you know? What in your life doesn't reflect a piece of you? It could be clothes. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm about to do a whole wardrobe overhaul. You understand me? It could be clothes. It could be music. It could be people. You know, it could be a myriad of different things. But when you get the sense of who and what you are, what you represent, and you look around your environment and who's in it, and see how much those things are in alignment with you, and how many of those things are there out of obligation, because you should, ought, or supposed to have that or have them there. What does your ideal look like? Does your life reflect that? Do you even believe that that's obtainable? Or are we too focused on the fact that we don't have enough? I don't have the money to do it right now. I gotta wait till I get my finances straight. We making excuses like that. You trying to ghost your dreams, Libra? Let me find out. Dang it. So anyway, before I let you go, I'm going to read this. I was going to do new moon readings for you guys and give you seeds of intentions. But I got busy and I wasn't able to. I wasn't workaholic in it. I just had, you know, new clients and things of the sort. So, the seed. Ooh, I know you lying to me. I should have been reading these at the end since the beginning. This is what's up. So, Libras. I wrote these October 8th, new moon. But you can still use this to plant for the next new moon. But anyway. So the intention seed that Libra would plant is self-control. And it says, true power springs forth from within. This power manifests as a release from attachment of the outcome. Your life is created moment by moment. All thoughts, emotions, and actions spring forth from your well within. These are the seeds of the leadership and mastery of self-control. Set boundaries, speak your truth, and stand up for what you believe in. Stand up for what you believe in are... Oh, standing up for what you believe in are the name of the game. That's so freaking dope, dog. And your mantra is, I am balance. So, see this right here? This just past self. Can I just pat you on the back right fast? Past self. I'm just saying. Like, girl, you just... I don't know what frequency I was on when I wrote these things, boys. But see that? That right there? That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Dag nabbit, I said. I love you, Libra. I don't know how many more of these I'm going to be able to do. I kind of, you know, want to chill with Fetty Wap and whatnot, or whatever. But I love your face, Libra, and I hope this has been helpful for you. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm not going to put a chip in my mouth when you right here. I don't want you watching me eat, watching me be fat Taurus and stuff like that. Let me be off the grid with my fat girl chips. Love your face. Deuces. Something like that.